advocate for fairness and justice. You lobby for fair distribution of the national resources, where a member of parliament has got to defend the people and their property. A member of parliament has to look at issues of land, protect the people's property, including land, from being beyond the ordinary in terms of the roles of a member of parliament expected by the people. When you're a member of parliament in a situation like the one of Obongi, you are not just there to go and say you sit in the parliament, tours and travels for the people, including visits to the Ministry of Works, Ministry of Local Government, and advocating for this matter of the bridge, of the ferry. That's how the ferry was brought. But the problem now is the bridge. The bridge is still lacking. The distance from here to Pakwach is very low. It is very far on the night. So we need a bridge here. We need a bridge at Laropi. Obongi still doesn't have a hospital. Obongi is now a district which requires a district hospital. We still have a health center for. Obongi still doesn't have electricity. You will see today, not a single pole of electricity is here in Obongi. These are gaps in development here. So the Museveni talks, NRM talk that they have covered the whole of Uganda with electricity. Where? Come and see today. If you find any electric grid in Obongi here today, then you will confirm that Museveni is telling the truth, the government of Museveni is telling the truth. But all in all, they have been deceiving people. When it comes to time of elections like this, that's when they come nearer and nearer and speaking about implementing the wishes of the people or the manifesto they made in the previous election. But all in all, they don't do it as people expected. So I'm coming to close those gaps, to focus on those gaps so that they can be closed. That is it.
Bara intema pa kuzala tuaturu kariga yo.
Kuata kok nggak naik yang wali. Bos. Apa? Kalau lu kan tahu, lawan.
Yala ni kama bala la sada kada ada. Ini per murah, muka ini per muka. Bisa bani kinyarta lupa tapi bisa bani kita tu kata bang bisa bani kita di parik bisa bani ekstrak. Inam. Video mu juga mu angka ada saya juga.
Malah sebenarnya mana video mu.
Ini aku masa tamanya aku.
Mas sama apa sih kau?
Malah anda buat lupa jangan ni kau iya video mu kan kita ada tempat pasti. Kalau apa sih kita sampai. Vamos kereta, cuma ni. Oh, ya ada ini. Ini sama murah gagal. Asih ya? Iya. Apa lagi? Apa yang kami juga mau mati gagal ada ni.
Ikiwa ile kende kumara kwa simgata andikilo dire kengele. Ande ko kitu kura mtu. Ko duko mtu la kala ike akaka mama kama atu kile yosa nani.
Kikalani inside yako. Kuna iboka. You are done.
People cannot afford a meal. When people cannot afford medical. When people cannot take their children.
So baka dalinya banyale aba kolutu liti disa bako dua morisi baka erua baterua kakpe erua losori jola za okobani baka baterua kare losori kakpe batiri bani bako zafo kakpe ite de pelere otenia osuzoba ruti.
For you who have studied, who have read some people about politicians, if a person wants to rule a country or wants to rule people, he will do two things. Make them poor and not give them education.
Anyi ambaba sekaro upekadede. Jomadio le alikase anyi para. Erua na gangwaru kone anyolu pote. Anyi suta pe. Na ifuka anya seti nyana leriti.
So my mothers and fathers, they are struggling with small businesses every day. But you cannot make your ends meet. Because the system has made it deliberate for you to suffer.
Ale baju anyere bakori odu alo sisokoa. Karene tia risibani seleti kwa ui. Bale seleti kwa badu ntu. Tagangwa sabake suwa bani oloso tike.
You get up in the morning working. At the end of the day, if you balance the book, you have made 100,000 shillings, which cannot put food on the table at your home.
Nyeri, itukanya tendere fu. Yazele tiko ui. Itukalo dere sili jeli fa losa nisua. Kani kwa ipe.
So that's why they want you to be now and they say women should form groups. You have formed groups, but the groups have become groups and you can't even get out of them.
Now baba niko jua anya kukurupu wa. Anya muru kare aluka. Asini aika anyiri ta aride. Anyiri liri anyolu grupu reform reka. Anyolu grupu anyiri grupu koli grupu. Anyilo arupo.
So while you are meeting the group meeting, try to see what you can do. The literally they make from you, the biggest thing they get from you.
Anyi grupu a. Anya grupu reform chui. Anyi tangwa dende anyiri yato suki kwa nyanyi I. Aluku anyiri sapi.
Now you have become leaders who are owned by money lenders. You have to go to a money lender to borrow money so that you can able to put in your business. That's being unfair.
Ranyi engwi ti ba morisi siri ukeka ukele odu alo siri ya nyugwe alo kaki siri kale nya ID sapoti ani de alo anyegwi to bido mari ti siri amba karu anyiri dua ali na itu kolo dere nyikera obu se nyikera ni siri yesu iko ali nyingi ote iti ane akada timbara.
So I want to say to you, my mother and father, that this country, Uganda, nobody applied to be born here. We all found ourselves here. We must enjoy our country.
Alolani kojo anyini ruyo tero sidiare ni. Malisi alosa wana kasiri rupanga tio tieni Uganda. Uso tieni Adjumani. Usa pakiledia na hiyo ruyo tero rupanga bibe subaingwa. Adjumani dia. Isikole abaki suta hiyo tero rumaniwa. Baki se Uganda niri. Fika ko.
So that's why I was saying it is time to fix this economy so that our mothers and fathers cannot go to the money lenders anymore.
Sadi eta dara. Waino nitiri. Bato. Pali andaga nandala ni pekasi asi ni bofu. Disa kubaba mtokasiti. Ukele uduwa alosi mani lenda sirwatiri. Zile ni enga kato kore ya join ngoni adede. Kaya nyasiki litai kisha sapi. Pesa kaya nini korutua kunyereto anyofu sani. Nyasika. I think that is
the president has been around for 40 years. Everybody knows him.
President Museveni oloki ya mudisu anyi yote rinyo te community.
He's always on TV and radio.
Sa tirusi kolu radio TV ya posta dia luka wele everywhere. Kade advertise karepo ka anyiri iya siyani tisa tikanyo soa. Ana ene twanya kana atas atama. Anyero unjia kasi anya tietu nene.
That's what I was saying. My sister saying the reason we are complaining, if he's known for 40 years, why does he bring a poster, like a t-shirt, billboards, instead of giving this money to the old women, the younger women, the younger men, the young old men, to do their business so that their lives can be better than putting it on poster.
Olo kinyamudisu, olo kariso t-shirt iprindiao, olo kaposta iprindiao, olo kariso anatibasi radio disi. Sitiri taizale karitiri kari eke anyini, asini fuloni yedure kwa nyinga sitiri yebuwa kwa se.
So that is why we are here. We are saying he's trying to advertise while he is cheating you. Because you people have suffered in that regard. You have been working for a government which does not take care of you.
Ole anika advertise yani kende yani nani anyiriru ania voa sato anye buide gameti dieru abibali anyiga ko nia sini borubo.
I want to tell you, you pay taxes every day. When you buy a bar of soap, 2,400 shillings is tax. When you buy a kilo of sugar, 2,300 is tax. When my young boys put fuel in their borders, 1,500 shillings a liter is tax. All this money is collected. If you take what has been collected in Adjumani, what have you got out of it?
Ala nani kojo anyini anyi musoro ke odu alo se. Ba bora tika atu baka musoro ke. Ni asabu yetere nyi musoro ke. Ni a ize nyi musoro ke. Ni sukari ize nyi musoro ke. Ni abangwa ar ni sa nyi musoro ke amala nye ya bebi so ezere tare atu bare ba musoro terua. Enda tarira tarika anyini ilo nyina do anyi sitirika nini.
A mother who is selling tomatoes, who is selling cabbage, who is selling oranges. As soon as he gets some money, he has to buy soap, he has to buy sugar, he has to buy salt. Anything he buys has tax. In short, every day you're paying taxes. And when you become smaller, a few people become what? Bigger at your cost.
Anole ani kojo anyira. Anyi musoro ke do alo si. Bati to baka musoro ke anyi ba uri ba anyi mga musoro ke anyi musoro ko do alo si. Ozanda anyiri ulojo graduate tax didera. Anyi musoro rike, musoro anyi ke odu alo si madiso kwa nyanya asiri, muchungu asiri ya urisa baka musoro rike. Musoro rika anyi njuto, vuatia lukangwi, tato itia mala musoro ri, nike ya kambacho. Ini anyiriko, indi anyiriko.
So my mother and father, we come to resolve that problem. We are going to give you examples to show you that you have been working hard and you have been cheated. It's time for you to change so that you can enjoy your country.
Anyida anye busikwa, ori anyiri ora kendepe, anye sutide naku, sari da anyiri, tide anyori ti sudori, nandala ni pekasi. Sari adu, odu mukili bito sanya adu dao, nandala ifunga, nandala ifunga, asili anyori umbu ni anyi nyawa.
You are aware that recently our children were not studying because our teachers were on strike for asking their legitimate question of salary.
Anyi teri nyote amabati rola taodu akakarika twiko amala la ponyi ya kiswaki la ponyi ori furu ba ito kifuru ba ipeni furu amala city yo musara irio tako.
Though when our children of government schools were not going to school, were the private schools also closed?
Jobatiri bari talaka gametini skuru ayubi didi. Jodo wifo igako skuru private ya wile batiri ba esuba walidisa arudi ola itakuwa. Jola konya kistrike skuru na kistrike ya istrike iko amala irina ka inyada Kame kiri kiswa gini.
So if it is no, if the hours of government schools never went to school, the private schools went to school, did they bring different exams for each of them?
Zadaba tiri bari gameti ya school talaka school gameti ya reo foliga ko private ya ko foliga da nyiti rodu test adu kartasi test deto de examination edito aini risi ali examination de timbimbia ali alo ete akwa da didi kamfuni.
So if hours never went to school and they were sitting these exams of those who went to school, who will pass and who will fail?
Da toka eriko pepa alo na ika pepa yanzo kumbiko da ingo kode ni ingo kamfuni. Gameti ya kode ni private ya kamfuni. Amala gameti ya kiswaki gameti wale siti kama la kunya niko.
Then you come and say protecting your gains. So your gains is to make your children to fail, while others of those who are very big and rich are going high, while others are staying low.
Ere sira President 17 yoma protecting our gain. Jadi ni batiri anyiri kode. Koji gasi. Da basi ayire kan fuka to school lo soreka. Ai protect le batiri bari ade kaya. Inde tira darea. Tira na bati kutore.
So my mothers and fathers, I want to state to you that it has been confirmed. Out of every 10 children who go to P1, only 2 reach P7. That means 8 stop on the way. The teacher is not teaching. The children are hungry at school.
Batiri abirika iza school wai abasi akai abirito. Anero kwa President Venezuela to poteni daily.
Who can dig from morning to evening without eating?
Anipata sorry ni dipaka unde kanyaka kwa warene.
So if you cannot dig without eating, how do you expect the child to be at school from 7 to 5 without anything in his stomach?
Zoda nita so diti ke kanyaka kwa idanya expect ya baraba kwa klasi ya kanyaka kwa itu diti. Kata ingon reda kata dari kelas ya wa. Di sekolah batin konya taloso kelas ya. Konfuki leo. Luki na corona.
How do you expect my mother here, who is making 1,000 shillings a day for the entire family, to raise 25,000 to pay at school so that the child can get food?
Anye amendre amata. Ni ori tu diti ni sirin Jesu tete elfu alo. Ranyi sirin elfu mudiri ke school fees ni wani obi economies. So ni siti elfu alo suru alo awe.
Yet you are every day contributing money to government in taxes.
Ni odu alo arsini musoro ke. Ni atezere rato kasito ni musoro nyekera. Sukari musoro nyekera. Ai musoro nyekera. So abuni musoro nyekera. Kita na iko ile anyi ke siti. Nyabarangwa ni ya to foinga. Wa ni iri ni siti Yesu elfu alo danga odu alo ya siti Yesu kusawa.
So this tax should come and work for you. So you need a leader who knows that this money belongs to you, who loves you, who knows to use your money, who knows to stop theft in this country. That's Nandala Mafabi.
Mati Nandala Mafabi yale rekodi anyipewa mala. Asinika anyalo umusoro riketori ni yote. O ni yote ni musoro ke gametini. Ni kodo piti gametini. Ni fozete gametini. Ladi sikola kingwinyo urungu niwa. Mati ni dele wari. Nandala Mafabi yodo mugili bitusi anyipea ikone. Nandala. Ifungua Nandala. Lady ni siti kodo ingwa. Ile siti kikuba nyateba kwa. Siti kikuba nyateba Nandala mteka.
My brothers and sisters, you have medical facilities which are not working. We come with a plan to ensure that all of our hospitals, like Arua, Guru among others, become national hospitals, all health centers become referral hospitals, and health centers are developed to health center force, so that we can provide medical for our people from lower up to higher level without going longer distance.
Ani Nandala si anipea plani cho. Anetia yini plani lo sorry. Ewa ruwe bedika ewe sutorika. Anya health center grade 4 ade. kole ake Zoro referral hospital wani. Dakado tini Zokolu National Hospital. Osuna leti jeba moyoya. Jo baba ini ya kolo aluwa oyaru mulakuku. Oyaru na Zoko. Kole tiri itu kenbi oru. Wewe tija ayi titia kile gero kandula. Ndio la ruko ama kama titia idea.
This money they steal every year, the 10 trillion, which is your tax, will stop because we know who steal it and will stop it.
Iniku anye bakanya city loku de kinyalorsi trillioni muti anaya tale yimbare city trillion muti le dikola koya anya tebaka koya malisi tebaka.
We are going to ensure the roads are done because there's a lot of money they steal on the roads. 1 kilometer of tarmac, they steal 19 kilometers. This is going to stop.
Kilometer lo tarmac isuzoni kaki city kilometer disalutu bi aruwe. Aneketa de mbare city anyiri nai kilometer disalu no buzonai tebe adile tibetu sudo.
And you're aware what they use is from Uganda. The stones are from Uganda. The sand is from Uganda. The cement, Uganda. The water, Uganda. We the laborers, the pushers, the wheelbarrows on the road are from Uganda. 95% is from Uganda. And the road be expensive. And the government keep quiet. Allow it to be cheated.
Pasende di mutilisa olimi dore ti ditore iyo teru tana anyiridia irili oni anyiridia maramu anyiridia sinya anyiridia wilbaro likarisa anyiridia semetisa Uganda leti karete la dio kosa atasi leti likole akiteru la je furu sia sirika kare bati yo teru kiari bakare naika epe na kai siti nzare nyapele tinaika na kai bana.
So when my mother and the father see the road here, he said, oh, we have Tamaka Road. It is like somebody have sent to buy him meat. You gave him money for 10 kilos of meat, he brings 1 kilo. So when you see 10 kilo is meat, 1 kilo is meat. So when you see meat, you are happy yet he has stolen how many kilos? 9 kilos. Is that fair?
Leki suka ofisi ofiru ise malisi zetere kilo muti kia tinyini isa kilo alo nyiri nyintari iko isa ki isa ni isi kilo alo kilo mutiku ni kwetiera ofiru leki nito da nyiri leki niko na kosuwesu konderira kito surasi anyinda ko leki kumbe esu ko na kosuru konderira isa kilo muti isa ofiru kilo alo isa ofiru isa anyinda ko karukubi isi okuwa nyiri leki nika cho
in 40 years.
Sileku kangaro nyamulako nyala cho taliba tikarete baharia pera.
That's why you just suffer because they are lying to you every year. Over 100 million shillings per year, and for 5 years that is 500 billion. You work within your villages and enjoy your life.
Anaya plani cho alosa siti ukele pije mukamilioni ni alo pari sigari yani idea kwa na plani ni milioni mia alo village alo si kinya tori alo
You got instead of getting 1 million, you got 600, 700, 800. That is a bonus still. Nobody will demand it from you.
Oje siti ukele anyini pije mukalia elfu mia afia iko nini fanyi peani na anyini bonus tu alo sawa ziesa kwa sawa alikauli ndio na bonus na sisi kelele kusiki yani milioni alo village.
The border boys and the girls, my sons and the daughters, they have rode border borders until their fathers have got to toll because they are trying to pay the loan of a border.
Anye amatunzi ni batiri anye di border tiri bali ulu ai border sidas tiri aduti bongo ai sele tigaru sidako tata malakati loni ndu peleo loni alusa no ya tena na kuranu ya kulejini yako.
When he goes home and the wife says, can you give me some money for food? He says, I have a loan. Everything he has a loan, and until the woman leaves, the boy remains a bachelor.
Laba ni kasi tikaya kunzi ni sape Oka yulu diti ko tabaruzi kasi disi ko ya lonia aloni ogusi tene pisi tiniyo. Danya isika lijenzo ya longa. Anyi peani anyi boda anya ukunti twani lijenzo ya twasa.
I want to tell you about to come here. The maximum cost is only 2. Drive the car here, babe. Drive the car here, babe. Yeah. Driver, Omega guys, stop a minute. Driver. Yeah. Lato decided yes.
Started the journey of West Nile yesterday. We covered Adjumani district with the 3 rallies, beginning from Zaipi. We came to Pakile Town Council, Zaipi Sub-County, Pakile Town Council, Adjumani Town Council. Right now, we are now entering Obongi. We are at the riverbank at Sinyanya ferry landing site. You can see that is the ferry, the Obongi ferry crossing. We are going to be in Obongi Town Council immediately. After crossing, the rally starts here. By around 1 p.m. we shall be at Ndirindiri, that is the extreme Obongi North, where after that rally we shall be in Moyo Town Council at 4 p.m. today. And we close the day with the radio talk show on Radio Patches Moyo, that will be at 8 to 10 p.m. This rally of the president, this tour of the presidential candidate of the FDC, and particularly reaching in our area, has coincided with our parliamentary elections also. The campaigns have already started officially. As of yesterday, the first round of campaigns nationwide, ward of Obongi Town Council. It is also the same area where the presidential candidate is, and going to address the rally at the same place, the same population. So for one, I give precedence, of course, to the presidential candidate. But my message, clearly and briefly summarized, is as follows. The theme of my manifesto for the Obongi constituency is closing the gaps. Closing the gaps. The development gaps. Closing the gaps in leadership, development strategy, resource mobilization strategy, and the broken will of the people. So mine is closing the gaps because there are certain things which are expected to be there. When you measure what is expected to be there against what is actually there now on the ground, you see what is there on the ground is less and less than what was expected. So that creates a gap in development. There are many cases of inequalities, development disparities in Uganda, regional development disparities and economic inequalities. The issues of poverty and economic inequalities affect my people directly. The issues of infrastructure, economic infrastructure, transport and communication infrastructure, what was expected by this time vis-a-vis what is actually there at this time. That is what creates the gap, and you can see the gap clearly. Now when you look at the gaps in leadership, I look at this in the context of what was expected as the roles of a member of parliament in our situation. First of all, the roles of a member of parliament in an ideal situation, I refer to them as the ordinary roles of a member of parliament in an ordinary situation under normal circumstances, where the systems of government are expected to be in existence and functioning normally, where you expect institutions to be working. A member of parliament ordinarily will be expected to perform the following 4 functions. Number 1, legislation. Number 2, representation. Number 3, budget approval. Number 4, oversight. These things happen even in the super developed democratic countries of the world. where democracy is expected to work normally because the institutions of government are there, the institutions of the state are there. Every member of these institutions plays his or her role properly, and things are supposed to flow normally, where the distribution of national resources and opportunities is done fairly. There is justice and fairness in such a situation. But there is also the other situation where there are extraordinary roles of a member of parliament. This is the situation where systems are not working properly. This is a situation where there are really gaps in the institutions and the functionings of those institutions, where there are a lot of issues of injustices against the people, unfairness in the distribution of national resources. In such a situation, there are also cases of human rights abuses, insecurity of persons and property of the people. People feel insecure in such a situation where they may lose their lives or they may lose their property, including land. Land grabbing is a serious issue now. So a situation as bad as this one requires me to perform extraordinary roles of members of parliament in extraordinary situations like ours here. We become advocates, defenders of human rights. We become human rights defenders, defenders of the people, not just making laws alone. So for me here, as a leader, I am going to work in the area of closing the gaps in leadership.
Okay, in this
So economic infrastructure, transport and communication infrastructure. We have this gap, we have this problem here. This river here is served by a ferry, but you can see the ferry causes delays. We advocated for a bridge. Obongi people expressed their interest that they should have a bridge. The people of the whole of this area of West Nile, beginning from Pakwach up to the Uganda-South Sudan border in Nimule, this is the area of the Nile which is called the Albert Nile. The whole of the Albert Nile here has only one bridge. The bridge at Pakwach. The Albert Nile essentially is the West Nile, the Nile in the West Nile region. And the bridge we have is that one of Pakwach. Here we need urgently at least 2 bridges. The Laropi Bridge, which is in the extreme north, serving people in the area of Moyo, even going the other side of Elegu, Amuru, people going that side of Nimule, people going that side of Noya. I mean Noya this way for Pakwach, but that side of Lamo. And then crossing like this, even people from South Sudan areas of Kajokeji, when they want to cross the river here, the river Nile here, this would be the bridge at Laropi to serve them. Because the next bridge on the Nile, if you go further, is in Juba, the Juba Bridge. It is very far away even. So the government of the Republic of Uganda and the government of the Republic of South Sudan, the East African community need to look at this as a priority. We need a bridge urgently at Laropi. We need a bridge urgently here. You know, Obongi at this spot of the Obongi Ferry Sinyanya landing site. There are people who came here, they did survey about the bridge, and the Uganda government is working on the Obongi bridge on the Nile with the Japanese. But we understand that the Japanese or the other side, the Chinese, are supposed to give support, either funding or some technical support on this side of the bridge. They did a survey here. The bridge is supposed to pass from where you see that landing site, west of it, like this, where you see those canoes, from west of that place, west, north of the ferry, exact docking point. You move that side like this, and it's supposed to pass from here and land ahead of this landing site here. But the thing is, in Museveni's regime, you hear smart promises, but they are not implemented at all. Sometimes they are implemented not on time. Sometimes they are implemented, but not to the quality expected. So in issues of promises, government assurances, I can speak with authority. I served in Parliament as the chairman of the Parliamentary Committee on Government Assurances and Implementation for 5 years. Unless pressure is mounted on the government, these promises will remain promises, and therefore I am coming back to take off from where I left to make sure that we follow the pledges which have not been implemented. Some of the pledges implemented within the period of my time include the bringing of this ferry here. We followed it up. We organized lobbying and advocacy activities here in Obongi during the celebration of Obongi Day. That was a day called Obongi Day. It was created by ourselves to bring people together and we advocate for development here.